Welcome back to our rolling coverage of the 5G launch in India. We have with us a panel of experts. We also have a marathon broadcast planned for you viewers. We will be covering the launch live where PM Modi inaugurates the services in India. We also will be joined by top industry faces through the course of the day. We're talking to global experts as well. We're also bringing to you a live 5G demo from IIT Delhi's 5G laboratory, and we're also getting you hopefully the first 5G call on national television in India. With us on the broadcast, Gokul Tandon, Cloud Connect Communication Group Executive Chairman. Also with us, Vinod Rawal, Senior Economist, Vanya Arya, Technology Expert, and Ajay Datta, FICCI Co-Chair, ITES India. Before we go to our panel of guests, we will go straight across to Pragati Maidan, where the stage is all set for the PM's arrival. Urvashi Khona, my colleague, is there tracking minute-by-minute details from Pragati Maidan. Urvashi, if you can hear me, the stage is all set. You are with the people at Pragati Maidan. Tell us what the environment is, what all is planned for the day.
Well, as we all are aware about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's whole today's schedule, the way he will be somewhere launching the 5G services in country India, this is certainly going to come out with a big boon in all different sectors, taking from a common man's handset to different critical sectors like defense, agriculture and other different parts. We are at Pragati Maidan and we are at that very particular section while the stage is all set, and within by 10 a.m. or so, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching 5G services where there will be Mukesh Ambani, there will be Bharti, Mr. Mittal over there and several other dignitaries, and the 5G services will be launched later on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting this particular exhibition that somewhere throws light on how 5G services in different sectors is going to bring a boon, is going to come out with unbelievable and something very interesting and magical experience when we have to talk about 5G. I am now joined by Mr. Radhikant Das from TCS. Let's try and have word with them and understand a bit. Sir, do let us know, in fact, with your systems over here, how and in which way 5G services are going to change the whole scenario.
See, the whole change, okay, the whole game plan is all about high throughput and low latency. Sub-millisecond latency we're talking about, meaning between you and the machine, there is no gap, no visible gap, no even realizable gap also. Like I'm touching a glass, the machine will also touch in the same, right? You feel like you have an extended arm. So that particular principle has been used in both telemedicines, your health sectors, your manufacturing, and also in our agriculture industry. We have been trying and doing a lot of trial with drones, with lots of robots, in all the use cases where the automation is the must, and this is what 5G helps us in getting it done.
And in fact, we are at, this particular, though right now I can't show you every practical thing because we are waiting for the launch. But then certainly let me take you through this particular 5G speed test and 5G video call. In fact, this very particular video call that you are seeing is going to get connected to the 5G soon. Once the 5G launch happens, in fact, we at NewsX also will be trying to give this particular experience to all our viewers to have this 5G direct to mobile, somewhere the connection that is there. And look at this particular streaming. In fact, Mr. Das was just trying to tell me that this phone has no SIM card right now. This phone has no other
wireless signals.
It has a wireless signals, and still due to the 5G setup, look at the streaming, the way streaming is happening is so seamless, is what we understand. Right, Mr. Das?
The biggest thing here is everything is made in India. We have done it here and it made it possible, all indigenous, and 5G ORAN standards, your 4G radios, everything we have done it indigenously in India itself.
So
and what
Catching up on Atmanirbhar is what we try and understand. In fact, over here, it's going to be also a boon to the robotic industry. And let me try and have word with Mr. Divija Krishnappa and others from different sectors. In fact, they will be explaining us how this very particular arm is going to function and how 5G is probably going to have a different change in this.
Yeah, so
Do explain us this particular setup and help us.
yeah, sure. So this is what you are seeing is a robot with an arm. So what we want to do is operating a robot through a remote operator, where the remote operator will be located anywhere in the world, and the 5G gives the high bandwidth and low latency, which allows operator to operate robot with high confidence. When there is a movement of a robot needs to be captured properly with the good control, that can be done through 5G. So that's where we are coming up as a robotics use case for the 5G.
Can we just have a bit of practical test of same in any ways?
Not
Can we take this full frame, please?
Okay, yeah, certainly. And sir, okay. Please take this as a full frame, give it a shot. Our viewers also wants to see. So where all of this very particular thing is going to help us out, in which sector?
Yeah, so there are multiple sectors starting from healthcare, where let's say in the current recent scenario of corona, we needed to collect the swab from human. So that swab collection was scary for the people who were working as a frontline learner. So we can help providing a robot as a solution to do the same task with more accuracy. Apart from that, manufacturing sector, where manufacturing environment is hazardous condition for the operators who are doing the things in the manufacturing, that can be done by the robot. There also this robot, which is operated manually but remotely, will help us in giving a more secure environment to the users.
Mr. Amit Kumar is explaining us about this very particular robot, the swab test that he was just speaking about, and this is the model of the same. So this is the one, right? If you can just, yeah. So you were saying during difficult times, the COVID times, how the swab thing, or otherwise how things were?
Yeah, so what happens, like when we talk about robot being operated autonomously, the issue is not having a full control of the robot. So here we have a full control by going through a user coming into picture, where user is operating the robot but remotely. So user is safe, but that same time a robot can be operated and can get the swab and everything. So we are having that distance and definitely having the things done.
Certainly. I mean, it seems to be a very wonderful experience to be over here only. In fact, as I was mentioning you, how in different sectors this is going to bring a boon is this that we see in Indian Railways. In fact, we all know that this will be a real-time train information system that will be put to the light. And I'm now joined by Mr. Parag Naik over here. So do explain us how this particular technology, 5G, is going to boon or boost up the whole technology sector.
This is a satellite-based technology. We have together worked with ISRO to build all of this. So this on this side is you have the railway tracking system, where on a 15-second interval every train is tracked. So today, if you want to know where your train is exactly, you know it through this application. So the satellite modem that is going on the train is something like this. And we also have a fisherman's tracking system that helps you secure our borders and also help them during emergencies.
This is India's first marine vessel tracking network. Okay, this is world's first marine vessel tracking network, and so this is all due to 5G. Am I right? And it is possible 5G services and satellite that it is. Otherwise
Yes.
it was not.
No, it was not possible.
Okay. So, but you were talking about the train system also, because this has been one of the most important, Indian Railways have played their own importance in their own way. Was this before also available, possible, or now it is more better with less delay?
It was available before, but now it can be better improved with 5G being around.
Also, I and you, we can speak in more real-time picture is what we try and understand while I have taken you through the glance of a bit of exhibition and setups of 5G that have been put up. I'm going to give you one more glance of the whole setup where the 5G launch is going to happen, where everyone is ready. And this is the stage that has been set up soon. In fact, within some time from now, we do understand that 5G launch will happen. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in this very particular inauguration of Indian Mobile Congress 2022, will be launching launching the 5G services, and over here we certainly understand that all different people are also present, and 5G services are gonna bring up more and more better experience, and somewhere the example of same we saw. Everything will be more functional once the launch happens. Over here, there will be several other dignitaries who will be also present, and we certainly see that everyone is seated and everyone is waiting for that time of launch of 5G services, the much awaited thing that is there.
All right, Urvashi. Absolutely fascinating. We saw live demonstrations of some of those technologies that we'd been talking about here at NewsX. We saw robotics, that marine vessel tracking system, which is a first in the world. We saw that railway tracking system. Extremely fascinating demonstration. Urvashi Kona, my colleague, live from Pragati Maidan, where the launch and the rollout is going to happen. Viewers, she's going to make the first 5G call live on Indian television right from there. She showed us the device. She will be making the call right here to our studios. Let's go back for a discussion with our panel of experts as well. Ajay Datta is also joining us at this point. Mr. Datta, we've been speaking about both the micro as well as the macro picture as far as 5G is concerned. We spoke about not just users, we talked about industries which will benefit from it, and we spoke about India at large and where it stands as far as deep tech, as far as high tech is concerned. How do you look at this development, sir? We saw live demonstrations just now. It's not just the users, it's ancillary industries, a whole ecosystem that is going to benefit from it. How do you view this rollout?
This is a historic moment for India. When our Prime Minister approved this auction in July 2022, this year, this was a moment for 20 years of spectrum, which is available for all of us. This will change the country forever, and this will change the world forever. It will impact everything. So let us take a perspective. 4G, say it will be approximately, if not less, it will be 10 times faster. So what happens is, it obviously gives a huge push to Digital India. So whatever comes in Digital India, you can say Invest India, Startup India, everything will come into play, and all the policies, all the action items which are being pushed to make the digital en route to the common man's life will get a new oxygen and a very high speed from that perspective. I was just sharing about the latency. So let me give you a perspective. Currently, the minimum latency you can get on 4G is around 40 to 60 milliseconds. Latency is from one device to another communication. That's the latency. Now this is likely to be 5 milliseconds. So imagine that 60 to 5 milliseconds. Now put it in perspective that your car speed or your scooter speed or your cycle speed gets 10x speed in your thing, which will improve not only the life of many digital processes and components and industrialization for Industry 4.0, it will impact everywhere. You cannot imagine. It will be very tough to talk on entire spectrum here in this limited time, but it is going to impact almost everything. We cannot imagine the impact we will get. This is going to, the way internet changed our life, this 5G is going to take it another level. And last thing which I would tell is why the speed is high. And this technology and Made in India technology gives us proud. At the same time, we must understand that this technology is going to give us very real-time experience because of OFDM. So what will happen is the packet travels from one place to another, but it gets transmitted to the end device from multiple channels so that it reaches faster. So it does not use just one route to travel the data. And that's where the speed gets increased very, very fast. And lastly, if you see, because the work is happening faster, if, let us say you are watching a movie and it's a 1 GB data. Can 1 GB data be downloaded on your device, which is rather than 15 minutes today, it can download in, let us say, 1 minute today. So you saved that 14 minutes of battery consumption or network, which will give you another battery new life. So phones may be charged lesser, the charging requirement for the phones may improve drastically in this fashion. You will complete your work much faster, and the real-time experience. I saw the demo somebody was showing yesterday. A stethoscope is there on the patient's head today here, and somebody remotely is listening in the real time.
Right.
Imagine the kind of impact it can bring in, that you can have one doctor addressing whole village sitting at one place, and there's only stethoscopes roaming around. This kind of impacts are coming very fast. So we should be very proud and happy and mark this day as a historic moment for the country.
All right, Mr. Tata, our users, our consumers sort of want to know something. So I'll just do a quick rapid fire with you. So are all phones right now 5G enabled, or there are certain phones and certain models which are 5G enabled?
Yeah, only certain. Not every phone is 5G enabled.
Okay. So we'll have to check which phones are 5G enabled and which not. What about SIM cards? Does that impact your 5G sort of usage?
So I think this will depend on telecom provider. For definitely, I believe 5G SIM will come new from that perspective. And if they have taken care in the 4G SIM, I'm not aware about right now that 5G it will upgrade. However, we have seen in the past that whenever we have gone from 2G to 3G to 4G, the SIMs have been changed, and these SIMs are there to change probably.
Okay, so most likely we'll have to change the SIM. We'll have to get an upgraded 5G enabled SIM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the costing, Mr. Tata? In your sort of estimate, how do you think the costs would look like?
I guess the cost should be almost same. Cost should not change. I guess cost would be data. Ultimately, the performance will improve. Then only the adoption will come in, because ultimately speed is one part and the data consumption is another part. For example, if I have 1 GB download data today for the month or for the day, and I will consume this faster than before. So, but I am consuming 1 GB, correct?
Right.
So there should if I am getting more data, then obviously, and eventually telecom companies will get more money from that perspective, if not the rate, because the consumption will go high. From my perspective, people will use internet more. People will have more facilities, more services. Eventually, they will get more customers and more data consumption in the times to come. We have seen in 5 years from 200 MB per user consumption to we have gone to 1.7 GB consumption per month per user as an average. So we have seen this in 3-4 years. This data has leapfrogged from the consumption perspective, but prices have not changed very high. Rather, prices have gone down. But eventually, telecom companies have gone more ARPU from the consumer.
Right, of course. So thank you for that. Very useful information for our users right there. Now, you know, the interesting part is that till at least a few years ago, data was expensive in India. It was not very cheap. I remember switching it off and using it only at times where it was absolutely necessary for us to use the data, and then waiting for us to reach, let's say, a Wi-Fi enabled zone. So it was very sort of expensive, but now things have changed as far as telecom is concerned, and 5G, another game changer, is right here. Mr. Tandon, if I could ask you this, what sort of impact would this have on jobs, on entrepreneurship and the startup ecosystem in the country?
Since I mentioned earlier, there's a big convergence required between IT and telecom. Like I mentioned, the opportunity, IT services, like India itself. IT services roughly $200 billion today. The whole NASCOM community is India and global, and telecom services about $100 billion. There's a $300 billion digital economy today, according to me. Right now, that's everybody wants it to become $1 trillion in 4 to 5 years from now, at a CAGR of about 20%. That means $700 million or $1 billion of new opportunities and new services or new applications have to be created, right? So it is where the small, innovative companies, potentially like ours, with the large IT services companies and the large telco companies, we are a convergent enabler. To a large IT company, we give some innovative telecom services, communication-led services. To large communication company, we provide the IT functionality or the edge functionality or the APIs for application programming interface, edge functionality, which users need. So it's basically the new game of $700 billion is being created as we speak. So basically the startups and the large companies have to collaborate in a very interesting way, including academia. Like we have a small deep tech tie with IIT Delhi, which there's like a maybe a little gossip or preview. That group's telerobotic system might deliver okay to the Prime Minister in a few hours from now. Example of so haptics, the next generation UC is including the new modalities like I mentioned to you. Haptics, touch, telerobotic, and AR, VR.
Right.
So all these, the new modalities, new services, and this convergence is very critical to the really explosion of the industry at large. The digital India $1 trillion economy or the global $6 trillion economy is all led with these convergent kind of applications. It needs cross-functional thinking. It needs players, small and large, to collaborate. That's really the fusion which is going to be very important as we roll out.
All right. Thank you for that perspective. Same question to Mr. Rawal, an economist's sort of point of view on this, on the impact on the startup sector, on entrepreneurship, on job creation in the economy.
Look, there is a good opportunity of job creation. Certainly that is there. We are expecting around 22.3 million jobs globally with the creation of this 5G. This is not a small number. And we are going to get $13.2 trillion global economy by 2035. And basically $1.6 trillion our Indian companies, Jio, your Bharti Airtel and Vodafone are going to induct into the network. All this induction and with all these amounts, basically the jobs has to be created. There will be a number of jobs available for the people. This is a new sector completely opening up. This is the speed. As the panelists were saying, that this is a historic day and lots of changes are going to change with all these things. This is not a small thing. We have to remember that 5G is going to be 10 times faster. When the things get faster, your works gets completed faster. Your time gets saved. When your time gets saved, you make money out of it. As an economist, I will say that lots of jobs opportunities are going to be made available with this. New IT and technologies guys will be hired for that. New skill set is required for that. The companies will have, as you were saying, that SIMs has to be changed. So then production activities, your energy sector, your manufacturing, your banking, your transportation, healthcare, sports, retail, your service industries. Everything is going to change with this. When all these changes are going to happen, there will be a job creations for that. We always talk about the job creation, but we talk about the job creations with skill sets. Now the jobs which are being created by this government as well as by all these technologies are the people who has the prescribed skill sets, who has the skill sets for this. More accountants are required for all these companies. More startups will come out. As Gokul has said, that these are the startups who are working on all these new things. These are very, very new things, such as satellite-based events. As your reporter was displaying from the Pragati Madan, it's unbelievable. The robotic technology is there which is coming into this country.
Right.
And that too all indigenous. As you rightly said, it's Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now we are coming, now the blueprint is coming which the people were waiting for, that what this all names are there, smart cities. How this smart city will work when the real-time data is not available? Ajay was saying that put a stethoscope on patient's chest and the doctor is listening the heartbeats at a far place, anywhere in the globe. See the things. And all these things are to be done by the people who work on all these things. The jobs are very much available. Economy is going to take a new turn. It's taking a new turn with a high speed, 10 times faster, as he said. I'm not a technology guy, so I don't know what is the speed, what is the numbers are available. But I still understand all this, that the speed really matters in everything. It's a real-time data available now. As Vanya was saying in our earlier comments, that it's a security risk. I will say it's the other way around. It's I think more secure place now. As there was a risk of battery drainage, I think Ajay has cleared that it is the other way around. We will be saving the battery charge. The cost, there may be some cost for that, There may be a cost, but whenever things comes, the charge has to be paid. I think that is not to be discussed in this way if that really matters for them. So yes, economy is taking a new turn. It is going on a new path at a very high speed. Your railways, your marine, your airlines. I was just reading somewhere that today itself, your Indira Gandhi airport will be on 5G. Just see the vision of this government, how they work. They are launching it today itself at 12 o'clock. Your airport is 5G. I think nobody has thought of it that you launch it and the same day your premises are going to be effective with that. That's I really
All right,
feel very
Mr.
proud
Rawal,
being it.
we'll come back to that thought. We have to slip into a short commercial break before we go on to the program live, where PM Modi will be launching those services live on national television. We slip into a short break. We'll be right back.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.